My name is Emily Carter, and I'm 28 years old. Here I stand, in my white dress, cutting the wedding cake with Matt. The room is filled with laughter and applause, yet an emptiness has settled deep in my chest. Not a single member of my family is among the guests, only friends and Matt's new relatives. Just as we press the knife into the frosting, my phone lights up. A message from Mom. We need to talk, now. Beneath it, 36 missed calls. My stomach clenches with fear and curiosity. Before we begin, tell me where you're watching from, and if you've ever felt betrayed by your own family. You know how deeply it cuts when those who are supposed to love you unconditionally become the ones who wound you the most. To understand why my family missed my wedding, I need to go back to the very beginning. I grew up in a seemingly ordinary suburban home in Ohio, with my parents, Greg and Lena Carter, and my younger sister, Lily. To the outside world, we looked like the perfect American family, matching Christmas sweaters, annual beach vacations. But behind closed doors, I always felt like an emotional orphan. Lily was 3 years younger than me, yet from her first birthday, she seemed to wear a crown. Her natural blonde curls, dimpled cheeks, and open-hearted charm made her the sunshine child everyone adored. She danced ballet, played the violin, and possessed a magnetism that drew people to her. I never envied her talents or beauty. What hurt was how differently my parents saw us. Mom, I got accepted into the advanced science program, I announced one evening in 10th grade, clutching the congratulatory letter. Mom glanced over briefly while helping Lily with her dance costume. That's great, sweetie. Put the letter on the table. Dad will look at it later. Yet that same week, when Lily placed third in a local dance competition, my parents threw a celebratory dinner. They ordered champagne and toasted our little star. I silently poked at my food, bewildered why my achievement warranted only a passing comment. It wasn't an isolated incident. This pattern defined my entire childhood. I excelled in math and science, earned scholarships and awards, but my successes were always overshadowed by whatever Lily was doing at the moment. My parents missed my high school graduation. Lily had a recital. You understand, right? This is really important for her future, Mom explained when I expressed disappointment. I understood. But that didn't make the pain any less. By the time I headed off to college, I'd already accepted my place in the family hierarchy. I stopped calling home often. Conversations inevitably circled back to Lily's latest triumphs. I built my own life, made friends who valued me, and focused on my studies and future career in biomedical engineering. At my college graduation, when I graduated with honors, my parents promised to come. I reserved 4 seats, 2 for them, 1 for Lily, and 1 for my best friend, Caitlin. On the morning of the ceremony, a text arrived from Mom. Lily got a call back for Broadway. We're taking her to New York. So proud of you. Take a photo. That day, only Caitlin's seat was filled. Caitlin became the family I chose for myself. We met freshman year and instantly clicked. She studied psychology, perceptive, empathetic, the kind of person my biological family never was. After graduation, we both landed jobs in Boston and shared an apartment for 3 years. She witnessed my pain from our family dynamics, held me when I cried after difficult holidays, or on birthdays when no one called. I was 26 when I met Matt Harper at a mutual friend's birthday party. He was tall, with kind brown eyes, and a laugh that made everyone around him smile. On our 3rd date, I told him about my family, bracing for the usual awkward sympathy. Instead, Matt reached across the table and took my hand. That's not normal or acceptable, Emily. You deserve better from the people who are supposed to love you unconditionally. No one had ever validated my feelings so directly. For years, I'd wondered, was I too sensitive? Selfish for wanting more attention? Matt helped me see. My pain was real, and my family relationships were genuinely toxic. As our relationship deepened, Matt encouraged me to set boundaries. You can't change them, he'd say, but you can change how you respond. He suggested therapy, and I took his advice. Dr. Morgan helped me understand emotional neglect and how it had shaped my self-worth. I began practicing what she called radical acceptance, acknowledging my family's limitations and lowering my expectations to match reality, rather than clinging to the love and recognition I'd always craved. It was painful, but liberating. I stopped trying to earn their approval and focused on building a life that made me happy. Matt became my anchor, my protector, my safe harbor. His family welcomed me warmly from our first meeting in Connecticut. His mom, Deborah, called just to chat. His dad, Thomas, sent articles about scientific breakthroughs he thought I'd find interesting. His sister, Chloe, became the sister I'd always dreamed of. "You're part of our family now," Deborah told me during my second visit. "And in our family, we celebrate every victory, big or small." That night, I cried in the guest bathroom, overwhelmed by simple kindness that felt foreign to me. Matt found me and silently held me. He understood what those tears meant. With therapy, Matt's support, and my own resolve, I made myself a promise. I would no longer measure my worth by my family's inability to see it. I would create happiness on my own terms. And if I ever had children, I would break this cycle. Little did I know how severely my resolve would be tested when Matt and I decided to get married. Matt proposed on our relationship anniversary at the small indie theater where we'd had our first date. Midway through the film, the screen suddenly went dark, and a custom video began playing photos and clips from our life together, set to our favorite song. When the lights came back on, Matt was on one knee, holding a simple but elegant ring. "Emily Carter, you're the strongest, kindest, and smartest woman I know. Will you marry me?" Through tears and laughter, I said yes, and the theater erupted in applause. It was perfect, thoughtful, and so utterly Matt. That night, celebrating with champagne at home, a knot of anxiety formed in my stomach. I had to tell my family. "They'll be happy for you," Matt assured me, though a hint of doubt in his voice betrayed his uncertainty. The next day, I called my parents. My heart pounded. "Hi, Mom, I have news. Matt proposed, and I said yes. We're engaged." The pause lasted just a beat too long. "Oh, that's great. Congratulations." No excitement, no questions about the ring or the proposal, no offer to celebrate. "We're thinking of a spring wedding, maybe in 6 months. That's pretty soon." "Well, let us know the details once you decide." And then, immediately, "By the way, Lily landed the lead role in the local theater production. We're so thrilled for her." Once again, my engagement was eclipsed. Despite their lukewarm reaction, we moved forward with wedding plans. We decided on an intimate ceremony in a historic building in Cambridge for 60 guests. I wanted something meaningful, not extravagant. We chose flowers, lilies, and hydrangeas catering from a family-run Mediterranean restaurant, and a photographer whose work captured the genuine, joyful moments we wanted to remember. Every decision felt right, as if we were creating something that truly reflected us as a couple. 4 months before the wedding, we sent out invitations to my parents, Lily, and a few distant relatives. Weeks passed, but no RSVP came from my family. I finally called Mom, trying to mask my worry. "Did you get the invitation? We need a head count." "Yes, we got it. Dad and I meant to call you. We'll try to come, of course, but you know how busy things are." "This is my wedding day," I said, struggling to keep irritation out of my voice. "I really want you all there." "Of course, sweetie. We'll do our best." Every conversation after that followed the same pattern. Promises to attend, but zero involvement in planning. When I asked if Dad wanted to walk me down the aisle, he mumbled something about checking his schedule. Throughout this, Caitlin was my lifeline. She enthusiastically stepped into the maid of honor role, compensating for my family's indifference. She threw a wonderful bachelorette party, helped me pick my dress, and patiently listened to my tearful complaints. "They'll come around," she'd reassure me. "And if they don't, I'll be there the whole day. You're not alone, Emily." Matt's family also showed incredible support. His mom offered help, with seating charts and favors. His dad insisted on contributing financially, even though we'd planned to cover everything ourselves. Chloe organized a separate bachelorette gathering with Matt's relatives, making me feel genuinely wanted. Meanwhile, my relationship with my birth family deteriorated. Calls home ended in distracted chatter and quick excuses. Lily barely replied to messages, citing auditions and stuff. I tried convincing myself I was just nervous about the wedding, but deep down, I knew something was wrong. Still, I clung to hope. Despite years of disappointment, some part of me believed on my wedding day, everything would change. This time, they'd show up, physically and emotionally. This moment would finally be important enough. With Caitlin as my maid of honor and Matt's support, I moved forward, determined to create a beautiful day, regardless of my family's involvement. I focused on those who were present, not those who might not come. Your wedding will be perfect because it's about you and Matt, Caitlin reminded me. Everything else is just details. I clung to those words like a lifeline, unaware of just how cruelly my family would disappoint me. 2 weeks before the wedding, scrolling through Instagram at lunch, I froze. In the photo, Lily beamed, showing off her left hand with a large diamond ring. The caption read, "He asked, I said yes, future Mrs. Reed." I couldn't believe it. Lily was engaged to Nathan Reed, whom she'd been dating for only 6 months, and no one had bothered to tell me. In the comments, congratulations, including from my parents. Mom wrote, "So happy for my beautiful girl. Can't wait for the celebration this weekend." With shaking hands, I called Mom. "Emily, is everything okay? I'm busy right now. Lily's engaged? Oh, you saw the post?" "Yes, Nathan proposed at a vineyard in the state. And why didn't anyone tell me?" "Well, sweetie, you've been so busy with your wedding plans. We didn't want to distract you." Something in her tone sounded false. "Mom, what's this celebration this weekend?" "Lily's having a small bachelorette, just family and close friends." "On Saturday? But that's my wedding day." "Really? Oh, I thought your wedding was next week." "Lily booked the date ages ago. How could she have booked it if the engagement just happened last week?" "Well, they knew they were going to. They just made it official recently." Then her voice turned annoyingly reasonable. "Listen, could you maybe reschedule your wedding? We've already put down deposits. Everyone's committed." It was so outrageous I was speechless. "No, Mom, we can't reschedule the wedding. We have 60 guests, signed contracts, everything's organized." "Well, we'll have to figure something out, but you understand how important this is for Lily. She's been dreaming of this for months, and I've been planning my wedding for 6 months. You confirmed you'd come. Dad's supposed to walk me down the aisle. We'll try to make it to at least part of the ceremony. Maybe split our time between events." I ended the call, too stunned and hurt to continue. I immediately called Caitlin. "This is insane," she fumed. "They can't expect you to share your wedding day, or worse, reschedule it for a bachelorette party. Not even a wedding, a bachelorette." "What do I do?" I asked, holding back tears at my desk. "Nothing. Just have your beautiful wedding as planned. If they choose Lily, that's their choice, not yours. And I promise, I'll be there the whole day. You won't be alone." Matt was equally supportive, though I saw anger flash in his eyes before he composed himself for my sake. "Your family is making a choice, and it's a bad one that reflects on them, not you. Our wedding will be wonderful because we'll be surrounded by people who truly love us. What if none of my family shows up? Then we'll still get married, celebrate, and start our new life. My family will be there. Our friends will be there. And most importantly, we'll be there, promising to be each other's family for life." I tried to comfort myself with his words, but the pain of potential betrayal on the happiest day of my life was unbearable. That night, I sobbed in his arms, grieving not just their absence, but the family bond I'd always longed for, but never received. The next day, I messaged Lily directly. "Congratulations on your engagement. I'm sorry you didn't tell me personally. Can we reschedule your bachelorette? I'd really love for you to be at my wedding." Her reply came hours later. Thanks. Sorry. Everything's already organized. Maybe stop by after your reception. It'll be epic. This indifference, her complete failure to grasp that I couldn't attend her bachelorette during my own reception, was the final straw. I didn't reply. In the days that followed, Mom's messages made it increasingly clear they'd chosen Lily's party. The last one read, "We'll try to pop in for the ceremony if we can tear ourselves away from prep. Hope you understand." Family comes first. The irony wasn't lost on me. In their eyes, Lily was family. I wasn't. The day before the wedding, amid last-minute preparations and the 5 p.m. rehearsal, I hadn't heard from my family in 3 days, despite several voicemails asking them to at least confirm attendance for the rehearsal. The historic building looked magnificent. Late afternoon sunlight streamed through tall windows, illuminating wooden floors and floral arrangements. "This should have been a perfect moment. Has your family arrived yet?" the coordinator asked as it neared time. "They might be running late," I lied, tasting bitterness on my tongue. Matt squeezed my hand as his family arrived, everyone smiling, joyful. His mom hugged me tightly. His dad proudly clapped Matt on the shoulder. Chloe immediately started taking photos. At 5:30 p.m., still waiting in vain for mine, we began the rehearsal without them. Our college friend, now an officiant, guided us through the ceremony with warmth and humor. Matt's 12-year-old cousin solemnly rehearsed as ring bearer, making everyone laugh. Everything was perfect, except for the emptiness on my side. As we finished, my phone vibrated. I hoped it was my family, but it was Mom, busy prepping for tomorrow's party. "Good luck at rehearsal. Love you." I tucked the phone away, determined not to show how much it hurt, but Matt knew me too well. "They're not coming, are they?" "No," I replied, surprised by my own calmness. "They're busy with Lily's bachelorette." His jaw tightened, but he simply nodded. Their loss. The rehearsal dinner was held at an Italian restaurant. Matt's parents had rented a private room, decorated with white roses and candles. Place cards included empty ones for my family. I held it together through appetizers, then slipped out to the restroom, trying to hold back tears. This was supposed to be a happy moment, and I wouldn't let their choice ruin it completely. When I returned, Deborah had removed the empty place cards and rearranged seating to eliminate gaps. She winked at me, and I felt gratitude for her tact. Dinner passed in toasts, stories, and laughter. If anyone noticed my detachment, they didn't show it. Caitlin sat beside me, keeping conversations going when I fell silent. "Tomorrow will be perfect," she assured me as we left. "I'll be there at 9 with coffee and breakfast. We'll make you the most beautiful bride in Boston. I don't know what I'd do without you." "You'll never have to find out," she promised. At the hotel, Matt kissed me goodnight before heading to his friend's place per tradition. By this time tomorrow, we'll be husband and wife. Nothing else matters. Alone, I made one last attempt to reach my family. Dad answered distractedly. "Dad, are you still planning to walk me down the aisle?" A long pause. "Emily, I'm sorry. Mom needs help with Lily's bachelorette. You understand how important this is for her. More important than your eldest daughter's wedding." "That's not fair. We didn't know the dates would clash." "There's no clash. You chose." "I'm sorry you feel that way. I hope you have a wonderful wedding." The call ended. I sat on the edge of the bed, staring at the wall. There were no more tears. I felt hollow, as if something inside had finally broken. My phone pinged. "Caitlin. Everything okay? How are you feeling, bride?" I replied. "Fine. See you tomorrow morning." She wrote back, "Sorry, family emergency. Might be a bit late, but I'll definitely make it before the ceremony. Don't worry." Something about her message felt off, but I was too exhausted to analyze it. I opened Instagram and froze. A new photo of Lily, trying on a dress with the caption, "Final fitting for tomorrow's big day. Can't wait to celebrate with the people who truly matter." The location tag, Bellamy Boutique, which Caitlin had mentioned needing to visit this week. I checked who'd liked the post. Among the names, Caitlin, and her comment, "You look amazing, can't wait for tomorrow." Panic crashed over me. I checked Caitlin's profile, a story she'd deleted, but Instagram showed it was posted an hour ago. The betrayal hit like physical pain. My best friend, my maid of honor, who'd promised to be there, was going to Lily's bachelorette instead of my wedding. I called straight to voicemail. I texted, "I saw Lily's post and your comment. Are you going to her bachelorette instead of my wedding?" Minutes later, "I'm so sorry, Emily. Lily said it meant the world to her. I thought I could make both, but I can't. I should have told you in person. I feel awful." The betrayal was complete. I turned off my phone and, still dressed, collapsed onto the bed, sobbing. Everyone who was supposed to love me had chosen Lily again, even on my wedding day. I must have fallen asleep from exhaustion because I woke to a phone call. Sunlight streamed through the uncurtained windows. "Emily, it's Allison. I'm in the lobby with coffee and bagels. Can I come up?" Allison Turner had been my college roommate junior year. We'd kept in touch sporadically, and I'd invited her to the wedding more out of nostalgia than closeness. I hadn't expected her to show up the morning of. "Yeah, sure, room 312. A minute later, she knocked. I opened the door and burst into tears right there. Allison hugged me without hesitation. "Hey, it's gonna be okay. Tell me what happened." Through sobs, I spilled everything. My family choosing Lily's bachelorette, Caitlin's betrayal, being left without family or maid of honor. When I finished, Allison looked me in the eyes. "First, your family and Caitlin are trash. Second, I'm here and not going anywhere. If you want, I'd be honored to step in as your maid of honor today." "You'd do that?" "Absolutely. Isn't that what friends are for?" She handed me coffee, called the stylists to confirm timing, and said, "Now let's make sure you have the most beautiful and meaningful wedding day, regardless of who shows up and who doesn't." In that moment, feeling more loyalty from someone I hadn't spoken to in years than from my closest loved ones, I felt a flicker of hope. "Thank you." "You're welcome. Now let's get you married to the love of your life." The morning passed in a flurry. Stylists arrived on time, transforming my puffy, tear-streaked face into something radiant. Allison proved an excellent replacement, joking, sharing college stories, distracting me from thoughts of my family. When I put on my wedding dress, simple but elegant, with lace accents, I almost felt like the bride I'd dreamed of being. Almost. The emptiness returned. No one to help with my veil, no one to walk me down the aisle. "You look stunning," Allison said. "Matt's going to be speechless." I smiled at my reflection. "I just wish." "I know," she said gently. "But today is your day. Think about Matt, about the life you're building. That's what matters." There was a knock. Outside stood Thomas, Matt's dad, in a tuxedo. "Hope I'm not interrupting. Matt mentioned your dad might not make it. I wanted to offer if you'd like someone to walk you down the aisle. No pressure." His kindness brought fresh tears. "I'd be honored, Thomas." "Thank you." "It's my pleasure, Emily. You've made our son happier than we've ever seen him. You're already family. Today just makes it official." In the hall, my phone stayed silent. No messages from my parents, Lily, or Caitlin. I knew what to expect, but confirmation still stung. I handed my phone to Allison. "Hold this. I don't want distractions." "Of course." And I've silenced it, just in case. In the waiting room, I watched guests take their seats. My side remained nearly empty. "Ready?" Thomas asked as the music began. I nodded, unable to speak. Walking down the aisle felt surreal. I saw smiling faces, heard whispers of admiration, but everything blurred until I saw Matt at the altar. His expression, full of love and certainty, became my anchor. I noticed the empty front row, but when Thomas placed my hand in Matt's, the pain receded, replaced by the warmth of his touch. "You're incredible," he whispered. The ceremony was short but profound. We'd written our own vows. His words made me cry, and the guests laugh. "Emily, I promise to be your partner and equal in all things, to celebrate your victories as if they were my own, to stand by you through every trial and build a home where you'll always know your worth is unquestionable. You're the strongest person I know, and I admire your resilience. Today, I'm not just gaining a wife, I'm creating a family with you, where love is unconditional and support is unwavering. I love you completely, exactly as you are. The reception was held in the same hall, decorated with lights and arrangements of lilies and hydrangeas. Despite the absentees, the room overflowed with love. Matt's family and our friends filled the space with laughter. No one showed they'd noticed my family's absence. We danced to At Last by Etta James. When the song ended, Thomas asked me for the father-daughter dance. "Thank you for everything today," I whispered. "Now you're family," he replied simply. That's what families do. The evening passed in toasts, dinner, and dancing. I genuinely enjoyed the celebration, though pain still smoldered inside. Matt rarely left my side, sensing when my thoughts drifted to those who'd refused to be there. It was time to cut the cake, a 3-tiered masterpiece, adorned with fresh flowers. We stood before it, smiling for the photographer. Matt picked up the knife. "Ready?" I nodded. We pressed down, and at that moment, my phone vibrated in the hidden pocket of my dress. I checked the screen. A message from Mom. "We need to talk, now." And 36 missed calls, from Mom, Dad, and even Lily, all within the last hour. My stomach clenched. What could have happened to make them call so desperately after abandoning me? "Everything okay?" Matt asked, noticing my expression. I showed him the screen. "I don't know what to think." "Whatever it is, it can wait," he said firmly. "This is our wedding day." They made their choice. Part of me agreed, but another part, the one that always hoped for reconciliation, made me hesitate. What if it's something serious? Matt sighed. "If you need to call back, I understand. But remember, you owe them nothing today. This day is ours. I'll step out for a minute. If it's nothing urgent, I'll be right back." In a quiet garden corner, I called Mom. She answered immediately, crying. "Emily, thank God, we've been calling for hours. I was getting married, Mom. What happened?" "It's Lily." Nathan broke off the engagement right at the bachelorette. He said he couldn't marry her because Lily told him what she did to you. I sank onto a bench. "What did she do?" "She made it all up, Emily. She scheduled the bachelorette for your wedding day herself, told us you'd moved the wedding, and didn't tell us because you didn't want to see us." "What?" "She showed us fake texts from you saying you were having a private ceremony with only Matt's family because they're your real family. Said you asked us not to come." "Mom, I never sent those messages. I called, left voicemails." "We know now," she admitted. Nathan confronted Lily today about why she seemed so eager to be the center of attention. She snapped and confessed everything. She faked the texts, deleted your messages from our phones, even intercepted the paper invitation. "But why did you believe I'd exclude you without calling me yourself?" "Because," Dad chimed in. I realized they were on speakerphone. "We knew we'd been terrible parents. We missed your events, didn't celebrate your successes. When Lily said you'd rejected us, we believed it because we felt we deserved it." "What about Caitlin?" "Lily told her you'd chosen someone else as maid of honor, showed her fake messages saying you'd only invited Caitlin out of politeness, but found someone closer. Convinced her it'd be better to attend the bachelorette than humiliate herself at your wedding." Everything clicked into place. "Where's Lily now?" "She left after the fight with Nathan, not answering calls." "I'm at the reception now. I'll text you the hotel address. Come to the lobby around 11 p.m. After the call, I sat trying to process the scale of the deception. Matt found me. "Are you okay?" "No, but maybe it'll get better." I told him everything. He was furious. "This isn't jealousy. It's malicious, calculated cruelty. I've arranged to meet them at the hotel. Are you sure you want to do this today? I need to close this chapter before our honeymoon. Then we'll go together. Whatever you decide, I'm with you." We returned to the reception. Guests barely noticed our absence. At 10:45 p.m., we left under a shower of flower petals. At the hotel, we changed and went downstairs. My parents arrived at 11:15, exhausted, red-eyed. Mom reached for me, but I stepped back. We moved to a small conference room. We don't expect forgiveness, Dad began. What we did is unforgivable, but we're deeply, truly sorry. Apologies won't give me back my wedding, I said. Why did you believe I'd exclude you without calling me yourself? Because we knew we hadn't been good parents, Mom admitted through tears. It was easier to believe Lily than face our own guilt. And where is she? Why didn't she come to apologize? We don't know. She disappeared. I won't forgive you today, maybe never fully. But if you're willing to change, I'll try to build something new. We'll do anything, they said in unison. Then that means therapy, individual, family, and Lily needs help too. What she did isn't just jealousy. We know, Dad nodded. When we find her, that's our first priority. We talked for another hour, painful, but necessary. There was no magical reconciliation, but a door long closed had cracked open. Back in our room, Matt asked, "Are you okay?" "Not yet, but I think I will be." 6 months have passed. Matt and I have settled into our apartment, found our rhythm as a married couple. Our honeymoon in Greece was healing. 2 weeks of ancient ruins, crystal clear water, and peace from family drama. Upon returning, the real work began. My parents truly started therapy. They suggested family sessions. I agreed after some time. Every Thursday, we meet with Dr. Patterson, a family dynamics specialist. Healing isn't linear, she reminds us. There will be ups and downs. What matters is commitment to the process. Lily reappeared 3 days after the wedding, calling from a hotel. Ashamed and afraid of consequences, my parents convinced her to return and immediately found her a therapist. After 2 months, I agreed to meet her. We sat in a quiet cafe. She looked different, without her former confidence. I don't know where to start. Sorry, feels too weak. Why? I asked. Why would you do something like this? She took a deep breath. My therapist says it's jealousy, but it's more complicated. I grew up feeling I had to be perfect to keep my parents' attention. They praised me publicly, but privately compared me. Why aren't you as put together as Emily? Why can't you find a stable career? I was stunned. I always thought they fully favored you. Yes, but their love was conditional. I had to be the perfect daughter. You were real. You had a real life, real friends, real achievements. I was just playing a role. That still doesn't excuse what you did. No, when you married Matt, I saw your happiness, real happiness. Nathan had just proposed, but it felt empty. I wanted what you had. And when I couldn't have it, I wanted to destroy it. That was petty, cruel, and unforgivable. Yes, I'm not asking for forgiveness. I don't deserve it. I just want you to know I understand what I've done, and I'm working to never do it again. The conversation was painful, but it was a beginning. Lily continued therapy and got a job, her first outside show business. My relationship with my parents slowly changed. They started asking about me, my work, hobbies, life with Matt. For the first time in my life, I felt seen. The wall of resentment began to crack, letting in rays of hope. Rebuilding trust with Caitlin was harder. When she learned the truth, she was devastated. She sent flowers, letters, tried to explain. I ignored her for weeks. Finally, I agreed to a call. "I should have called you myself," she said through tears. "I should have known you'd never do that. That's what hurts most. You believed the worst of me without asking. I have no excuses, only regret. And I'm willing to spend however long it takes to earn back your trust." Rebuilding trust is harder than building it. With Caitlin, we moved slowly. Infrequent texts, then monthly coffee dates. The old ease was gone, but our friendship began to revive. And Allison, unexpectedly, became a close friend. We started having regular lunches. She joined our circle, often came for dinners. On our first wedding anniversary, we hosted a small dinner. My parents came with a photo album of my childhood achievements they'd previously ignored. Lily came with a gift and a quiet, sincere presence. During dinner, Matt raised his glass. "We wanted to wait until today. Emily is expecting a baby, due in June." Everyone genuinely rejoiced. Mom cried. Dad beamed. Lily hugged me and whispered, "You'll be an amazing mom." Later, while clearing the table, Matt asked, "Are you happy with how things are with your family?" "I'm at peace with it," I answered honestly. "It's not perfect. Old wounds still ache sometimes. But we're building something new and healthy. That's enough." And with the baby, I want him to know his grandparents and Aunt But with boundaries. I want to break the cycle of favoritism and emotional neglect. Our child will never doubt whether he's loved or if he's enough. The journey from that wedding day to today has been difficult, filled with painful conversations and revelations. But it's also been enlightening. I've learned that families aren't static. They're dynamic relationships capable of healing with genuine willingness and accountability. I've learned that sometimes the greatest gift you can give yourself is setting boundaries, demanding respect, and walking away from relationships that diminish you, even if they're family. And most importantly, forgiveness isn't a single act, but a process. It comes with time and can't be forced. True forgiveness isn't forgetting the pain, but understanding it, living through it, and choosing to move forward with new awareness and clear boundaries. Looking ahead, preparing to build my own family with Matt, I carry these lessons with me. I'm no longer the daughter desperately seeking approval from parents incapable of giving it. I'm a woman who knows her worth, who's built a life filled with genuine love and respect, who chooses every day to nurture relationships that nourish her in return. Sometimes a heart must break completely to grow stronger. Mine broke that day when I stood alone at my wedding. But from that fracture emerged a strength and clarity I might never have found otherwise. And for that, despite everything, I am grateful.